Kellen, do you think the public education system in America provides equal opportunities for all?
I do not believe so. I think that children living in poverty, especially in inner cities, often experience worse conditions and lower quality education because they receive less funding. And the people who live in inner cities and in those areas who have wealth are able to opt out by attending private schools, and that increases their opportunities, thus making an imbalance.
All right, thank you. Do you think the public education system in America provides equal opportunities for all?
No, I don't think the public education system is as equal as it should be. I think that there's definitely some areas where public schools are better because of money, like money and just like the environment and the social environment and stuff like that. So it's not equal, and especially even in schools that do have good that have enough money to provide, it's still probably not as equal as it could be based on the individual's like characteristics.
Do you think the public education system in America provides equal opportunities for all?
I think the idea of the public school system is amazing. Like, no matter who you are, you get the free basic basic education for free, which hasn't always been the case. But I think it is unfair that like people in like lower income housing, like the best teachers, the best systems, the best funding for like sports, extracurricular, like art programs, like they're not going to be funded. So I don't know what we can do about it, but it needs to be better.
Do you think the public education system in America provides equal opportunities for all?
Personally, no, I don't think so. I think there are often great disparities between both income in education and race in education.
Do you think the public education system in America provides equal opportunities for all?
No, I don't think so, because especially in California public schools get a lot more funding and are ranked a lot higher than a lot of other really good public schools in other states, so it becomes really competitive and hard to get into those schools. And also universities in general are a lot based on race, and a lot of races have a lower advantage, like Japanese American or Asian Americans in general. So
Do you think the public education system in America provides equal opportunities for all?
No, and I think there's multiple ways to think about it, but the one thing that I'll speak to is the way that money is funneled into school systems by the geographic location you're in. So if you pay higher property taxes, that money kind of goes into those local schools. So wealthier, more affluent areas, just by nature of being wealthier and affluent, get more resources. So that structure is just set up to marginalize particular communities quite a bit.
Do you think the public education system in America provides equal opportunities for all?
No, I don't think so, just because there's some schools that get more funding and then there's other schools that don't. And then also in some areas, like property taxes also plays a role in how good the schools are, so no.
If you were given the authority, would you make any changes to the public school system?
I would increase funding for schools with taxes, and I would also try and encourage schools to offer more interdisciplinary stuff in high school and middle school so that students can be exposed to different topics before they learn them in college.
If you were given the authority, would you make any changes to the public education system?
Yes, I would. One of the things that I would do would probably, similar to my other answer, be to create a structure where schools are getting equal funding that's not limited or constrained by who's got more money. And kind of addressing kind of the fact that urban communities, as wealthy people leave, those kind of schools end up suffering, and it kind of creates this domino effect. So I would create some sort of context where money and the education systems are more egalitarian.
If you were given the authority, would you make any changes to the public school system?
Yeah, I definitely make some changes. I think that class size should definitely be much smaller, because the teacher, when they have so many students, it's hard to focus on the individual, and they just just have to be very general, and they can't focus on the actual learning of every student because they don't have enough time. If they would have to spend a lot of time to get to all like 30 students if they have, or even more. So I think that if there was less students in each class, then they would learn a lot more. And I think that students should be provided more resources for them to know their options for their future and to keep them on track.
If you were given the authority, would you make any changes to the public school system?
If I had the opportunity, I would try to spread resources around more evenly throughout schools. So basically, taxes in like the affluent cities would also go to pay for lower income and inner city schools, and that way there's a greater balance amongst the quality of the education and like the resources that students have in every city or every area, thus making more equal opportunity.
If you were given the authority, would you make any changes to the public school system?
Yes, I would make classes that are more geared towards life skills that you need in the future and get rid of, no offense, but like other really dumb classes.
If you were given the authority, would you make any changes to the public school system?
Yes, in high school especially, I think I would have high schools integrate more specialized classes for students who know they want to go in a specific track. And at a collegiate level, I think I would get rid of things such as like a bell curve that make it too competitive for students.
If you were given the authority, would you make any changes to the public school system?
I would. I think what a lot of people struggle with is like the way people learn, and so I think if they did a lot more like hands-on activities, more like projects and stuff, rather than like repetitive homework problems, that not only would they be better for college, but like in life.